What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Larry Poteat Jr. I'm your real estate agent as well as your financial planning consultant. In today's video, we're talking about your budget. That's going to be the focus with the BSI challenge, which is your budgeting, saving, and investing challenge. That's right. The budget is the foundation of your financial plan. So first and foremost, you need to have all of your financial information inside of your budget. We're tracking every single dollar because your budget is focused on two components. It's your income side and it's your expenses side. So when it comes to your income, we need to know every single source for those resources. So whether you're a W-2, whether you're an employee, whether you're self-employed, whether you get money from a retirement account, insurance, you get it from investments, whatever source that you get your money from, we need to know because that goes on the income side of your budget. And we need to know when that money comes in, whether you get paid on a daily basis, weekly basis, twice a month, or even monthly. We need to know how much is coming in and when that money is coming in. And so that's the focus when it comes to your income side. Your expenses side is way more complicated. There are different sub buckets when it comes to your expenses. You know, we have fixed expenses, we have variable expenses. And when it comes to variable, I broke those variable expenses down into other buckets as well. But let's start with the fixed items. When you think about your fixed expenses, those are the totals that remain the same on a monthly basis. So that is when you think about your mortgage payment really doesn't fluctuate, or it shouldn't. Your car note doesn't fluctuate. When you think about subscriptions, whether you have Netflix, Hulu, those typically don't fluctuate on a monthly basis. Yes, they may have increases, but for the most part, they're pretty consistent. So those would be your fixed expenses. But when it comes to those, I'm not just focusing on the big ticket items as far as the mortgage or the car payment. Every single expense, fixed or not, needs to be in your budget. And so an example of a variable expense could be your cell phone bill. For the most part, it may stay around or it may stay within a particular range, but there's more fluctuation than a car note. When you think about your utilities in your house, you have various utilities. When you think about gas, depending on the month or even the season, you may see significant fluctuation. You know, in the wintertime, it may be high or low. And then in the summertime, it's going to be the opposite way. And so we have to take that in consideration, as well as your electricity, water, things of that sort. We need to make sure all of that is notated within our budget. But then we have another category, which I call the budget busters. And within that category, you have going out to eat. That can fluctuate depending on your schedule, the season, the month, what's going on, whether it's raining outside, or whether your work schedule has changed, or whether you have children or not. Sometimes eating out can be out of convenience. So we have to take that into consideration. And also that's going to dictate a lot of the items in your budget as well, because if you have fluctuation there, that's going to affect other categories within your budget. The same thing with groceries. If you eat out more, your grocery bill may be down, or if your grocery bill is higher, eating out may be down, because if you're cooking more food in the house, you're not going out. So your eating out is going to be down. So those can kind of work hand in hand. Also, when you think about personal care, this is a category that a lot of people don't think about because they use extra money for that. And in this budget, which I consider a zero-based budget. And a zero-based budget means that you're tracking what's coming inside of the household and what's going outside of the household. And so when you put those together, or when you subtract those, you end up with zero, because every dollar should have a purpose. So if that's the case, you don't have extra money, because what is quote unquote extra, it should be going towards paying down debt. It should be going towards saving or in investing. It should go to its proper location. So it's no such thing as extra money. And I'm going to talk about that later. But getting back to personal care, when you think about getting your hair done, getting haircuts, getting your nails done, massages, those can be out of emotions. I feel like I deserve a massage, or I really need my haircut for this graduation party, or for my birthday, or for this dinner. That's what we have to really focus on, because if that category gets out of hand, that can make or break our budget. Other categories or other buckets that we need to focus on are those miscellaneous. So when it comes to your household goods or household items, you can look around, whether it's cleaning products or toiletries or things of that sort. Where does that fit in your budget? It should be a household category or a miscellaneous, where in that bucket you allot some money for those Target runs, those Walmart runs, because if you don't, those dollars won't be accounted for. And like I said, that can make or break your budget. Another thing could be, a lot of times we don't think about if we have life insurance or if we pay out of pocket for health insurance or any other insurances. We have to factor that in, because a lot of times, and I know because I'm an insurance agent, when it comes to that bill, sometimes we pay that out of what we consider extra money. So if money gets tight, we get rid of that life insurance, which we need down the road. And so that's why your budget is important, because you need to write down all of your expenses and you need to match that to the money that's coming in. I hope that makes sense. Another item is, and what I typically do with my clients is, when I sit them down, we go over the typical bills. We go over the fixed items. A lot of times everybody commits the fixed items to memory. The variable ones are the ones that we have in our head, but a lot of times we can't remember. And so when it becomes time to budget, or when it becomes time to make other purchases, we forget about those variable items. And so our budget or our account can overrun because we forgot about these miscellaneous ones. We forgot about, if we go shopping every single month, that needs to go into our budget, because it's like I said, and I'm going to constantly repeat it, there's no such thing as extra money. A lot of times we look at our account and we may see, oh, I have an extra $500. I have an extra $1,000. I can buy shoes. I can buy pants. I can buy this suit. But that money may already be allotted to this particular category, personal care. It may be allotted to this category, which are household goods. It may be allotted to travel, because I take 6 trips a year, or I take 3 trips a year. So that's why the budget is important, because the budget is going to allow you to make future financial decisions. You should be able to look at your budget and say, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take that trip next February. Or I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy that car at the end of the year. Or I don't know if I'm going to be able to save enough to purchase a house next December. It's going to allow you to make those decisions. Another category in your budget needs to be when it relates to debt. So you have, of course, your mortgage is debt, because you have a mortgage or you have a loan associated with it. But also there are personal loans. So any personal loan that you have, we need to put that in the budget on the expenses side, but keep track of every single loan. What's the monthly payment, but also what's the total amount remaining? Because another thing that I recommend doing with your budget is, when you look at your budget, you need to identify, set, and then prayerfully accomplish goals. So you need to say, okay, I'm going to save this amount each month to get to my target goal for next year or for 6 months. we have to identify goals, or I'm going to pay down this personal loan for the next year. I'm going to tackle that so I can pay my credit card bills the following year or once that loan is paid off. So going back to debt, all of your personal loans, we need to identify any credit cards, write down all of the credit cards with the associated monthly payment, as well as the total amount remaining, because we need all of that information, one, just for our budget so we can make future financial decisions, but also to identify our goals so we have a plan of attack. And that's what I identify when it comes to my clients. We always write down everything, but we have to figure out and strategize on our plan of attack. That's how you create and manage a very effective budget. And so another thing would be any student loans that you have, whether they are being deferred, it doesn't matter. That needs to be in your budget, because at some point in time, they're not going to be deferred. We're going to have to pay them back, and we have to have a strategy for that. So I hope that makes sense. And so within the expenses side, we're tracking every single dollar. And then last but not least, we're focusing on saving and investing. Let's talk about saving. When it comes to saving, we're not just saving what's left in our budget. After we pay all of our bills, I have $500 left, then I'm going to save that. No, we're going to identify a number. I'm going to save this number. So if it's $50, if it's $500, if it's $1,000, I'm going to save this number and I'm going to pay it to myself just like I do any other bill. So just like you pay your mortgage, if your mortgage is $3,000, if you're paying $500 for saving, you're going to transfer from checking to saving that $500. It doesn't matter what's in your account. Just like we pay our mortgage and we're not looking at, oh, did I pay that bill? Did I pay that bill? No, you know your mortgage is due on the 1st. You pay yourself when you're supposed to pay yourself. It's not a wait and see. It's pay just like you pay any other bill. And the same thing with investing. We're going to save whatever we're saving, but we're going to put money aside as well for investing. Not whatever's remaining. No, we're going to identify a number and we're going to invest in the stock market or invest in whatever venture that is of your choosing. That's what we're going to do. That's a part of our BSI challenge. Remember, we're always focusing on the budget. We're focusing on saving and we're focusing on investing. So I hope that makes sense. It's all about making sure we have an effective financial plan, and it all starts with the budget. If you guys need any assistance, I'm here. Like I said, I'm your financial planning consultant. I work with my clients all of the time. Sometimes once a week, it may be on a monthly basis, it may be quarterly, whatever you need. I'm here for you guys, whether it's on the budgeting side, helping with the plan of attack as far as your debt, saving, as well as investing. So I look forward to working with you guys in the future. I hope this is helpful to show you guys how to look at your income, how to look at your expenses, and put a well-designed budget together. And in later videos, I'm going to show you the proper way to manage your budget, as well as doing monthly reviews or even weekly reviews of your budget. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. God bless.